On today's World Insight, China's big push for innovation, how is it stacking up? A panel of distinguished experts lays down what China's doing right and what more can be done. The panelists are Bill Dong, the founder and chief executive officer of X-Transfer; Alex Zavorenko, who's the founder and chief executive officer of Insilico Medicine; Cheryl Shui, who's the co-founder and chief executive officer of Bota Biosciences; Gong Yuan, who's the managing director of Hongshan; and Tuna Ma, the founder and chief executive officer of Shuquan.
Before we talk on a more higher level of policy, let's hear from every one of them as to what they are doing and at which stage their business and their innovators, shall I say, path has been developing. Cheryl, let's start from you. 1 minute or two. Tell us where you are. What are the most important questions you are thinking of these days, please?
Bota is a 4-year-old company, and then right now we're at a team of about 200 people. It goes from R&D to process development and also to manufacturing scale-up and commercialization. So for me, I think the thing that really on top of my head is how to integrate the team and then navigating the system in the current environment. Yeah.
In the current environment, that's certainly what we need to look into a bit later. Alex, what about for you?
My major challenge is aging. So I think that if we solve this problem, all other problems, we will have a lot of time to solve other problems.
Interesting. I'm so glad that you're focusing on one point and one point only as an innovator. Annie, what about for you? What's on top of your mind as an innovator running a team?
So we're facing a very severe shortage of the doctors, both in the patient-facing and non-patient-facing. So what we're doing is we're applying the AI technology. We train the AI doctors to help human doctors to solve the problems. So the top priority on my list is that how we accelerate the adoption and application of our AI doctors in the real world. We have AI doctors for the radiologists, cardiologists, and also the home doctors. So we are in China. We do a lot, and we are in the expansion globally. So we have a lot of work. To focus on the globalization. To accelerate the adoption. To solve the real problem.
Very interesting how to apply AI doctors in different circumstances and also globalization. Those are the two questions you're interested in.
Yes.
What about for you, Bill? FinTech.
So actually, we build business wallet for importers, exporters around the world. So most of our clients are one single person. They are SME, smallest one. So right now in China, we process 1.5% of total China's exporting volume.
Oh, congratulations.
So, so our goal is to provide financial inclusion to SMEs, one single person companies from around the world, because they are contributing more than 60% of the importing and exporting volume for almost every one country. So and we're seeing we're more optimistic because China's exporting business has been doing better than other economic sectors.
And last but not least, for this very first round, I would also like to ask Yuan about your thoughts on Chinese innovators, and as VC, what are on top of your mind in terms of challenges and opportunities? And then we go to the specific questions.
We look for innovators such as these entrepreneurs.
You probably work with every one of them.
Yes. So we saw a lot of portfolios at this conference, which is really good. So our daily job is to look for innovators world-round and then try to support them in their early times. So in this challenging time, we still see a lot of passionate innovators, which makes us very exciting. So I think we will just continue do what we do in the past 10, 15 years. And it just, I think innovation is like consistent and it will last like long.
I can see this innovative and entrepreneurial spirit among all of you, and that's certainly should be congratulated. Having said that, though, we should really mention the elephant in the room, the challenges that all of you have talked about. One of the things people always ask you, I'm sure, in private conversations or discussions, where are you come from? Are you a Chinese company? Or what is the nature of your company? They would ask that question given the current context globally. What is your answer? And really, what is your aspiration at this stage of whether you call it globalization or fragmented world or a different stage of a world compared to the last 20 to 30 years? Bill, I want to go to you first. You deal with that question, I'm sure, a lot.
Yeah, our clients are selling things to countries outside of China. So on the one hand, we see from the media that there is a concept about deglobalization. But actually, on the other side, we see drivers that are making globalization deeper. So just like in our industry, our customers, most of them are one single person company. They sell maybe several millions of goods from around the world. So they are shaking more hands with others, with their buyers and clients and their suppliers from around the world every day. And I see, actually, this company could exist because the infrastructure has become more and more mature. They could buy a ticket to attend trade exhibitions from around the world very easily. And they could leverage the logistics services in a much, much more convenient way than 10 years ago. Especially during COVID, the digitalization of the world has been deepened, has been enhanced, improved dramatically. So it becomes much easier for them to do business. So all these one single person company, they found their way to start their own business. So they don't work for anyone else. They become their own boss. And they become the mainstream of the importing and exporting for general goods, not chips, right? Not chemicals, right? But for general goods, they are taking control of the whole business. And what we see, they kind of become a cushion for geopolitical tensions. Because for one single person company, they only care about the quality, the pricing, and the service levels. So they are driving the globalization. So for us, we don't believe the globalization because anyway, the connections is valuable. It will make changes to a human being as a whole.
Very interesting. Since you're dealing with the capital flows every day, you're serving these companies. Very small sized companies. So you see globalization is it's not disappearing, but rather existing in such an intense way, right? That's your argument, it seems.
Yeah, it's still happening.
Right. Okay. And what about for Annie? I earlier also hear you talk about the current realities of the world. How do you see what Bill just illustrated?
Yeah, so I think we are in global environments. Yeah, so for the new type of innovation company, we have a very, the global background. So we have the investors, from US, from Hong Kong, around the world. Yeah, so they invest a lot, in the Chinese innovation companies. And also, so for our team, we are very global. Yeah, we have very globalized team environments. Yeah, we have employees from US, from UK, from Middle East, and so I think we cannot avoid the challenge we are facing, but I think we are building our ability to adapt that environments.
How would you build your ability? I'm interested in that.
Yeah, so as I said, our top priority is to apply our applications, AI doctors in the different countries. It's very complicated system to navigate for us. Yeah, but I think with the value, yeah, let's focus on the problem they are facing, and let's focus on the value we can provide. Yeah, we can offer to help them to solve the problem. Yeah, just put aside the other things. Yeah, I think we are easily to reach the agreements that we can collaborate. Yeah, we can collaborate together to solve the problem more efficiently and more cost effective.
Alex, your business is both in the Chinese so-called ecosystem and also the US so-called ecosystem. So when people ask you, so what kind of company are you? Are you a Chinese company? Are you based in China? You know, because there's a lot of other complicated issues that could relate to this nature. What is your answer? How do you, as an innovator, look at these kind of questions?
So sure. I guess we need to go back a little bit. And, I grew up in the 80s and 90s when the world was globalizing. And at that time, we saw major economic growth fueled by globalization. Countries started working together. And you kind of get used to this environment where collaboration is more important than competition. And right now, what we see is more polarization and decoupling, which is very scary. So when people ask us about where we are from, they not necessarily pinpoint us to China or to any other region. We were born originally in the US and then scaled globally. I usually answer that we're a truly global company. I don't care where you're from. You can be a little green alien from another planet. If you're peaceful, if you are really good at what you're doing and dedicated to improving human longevity and health, you can come and work for my company. I don't care about the color of your passport. However, nowadays, it's becoming much more sensitive. People are very scared about, interacting with other people from, a geography that they might be very familiar with. But now, due to media pressure and just in general polarization of the society, even within a single country, it leads to this disconnect and misunderstanding.
Right.
It's very easy to confuse people just by labeling them either as US or China or something else. We have 9 regional R&D sites. We don't have a base per se. We're based around the world. AI is done in Montreal, Canada, in the UAE, in the Middle East. We work in Saudi very actively. We are very focused on China. And we utilize the best talent in all of those regions to solve one global problem that unites all of us. We're all going to die, and we're going to lose function as we age. So we need to solve that problem, and that is much more important than thinking about where you're from.
I see everyone has a great answer. I'm sure you have answered that question many times, and you have the perfect version. And Cheryl, what about your version?
Yes, I think that it became a question that started to come up in the conversations.
Yes.
And I think we're a generation of, you call entrepreneurs or innovators or just personal lives, operate from a global setting. And many of us had a diverse cultural background as well, right? And training background. And it's the exposure that we had to many different cultures and educations that really enable us to see the advantages or the unique traits. And that's why, like Alex, right, we are operating, we have sites both in China and also in California to really attract the best talents and united really behind the single cause for us. It's about sustainability, right? The planetary health, the climate challenges, and those are challenges that not a single country can conquer by itself.
Right.
So I think focus on the problem, focus on the value, as opposed to the differences, and yeah.
one has to mention artificial intelligence. I think this year at the Summer Davos, there are so many discussions about that. And all of you are working with part of that in relation to artificial intelligence. How do you understand these latest development, particularly related to technology, supply chain of the latest version? And how do you articulate that and make sure it is in your plan, make sure you're dealing with all these possibilities?
So I think that we see a boom of outcomes coming from the intersection between biological science and digital science, or we call it information technology. It's because biology is quite complex. I'm sure Alex can elaborate more on that. But go back to your question. I think that also echoing the initial discussion is I think we're a generation of companies that were born global but also born digital. And then by setting up the company in a digital fashion, at least I think we have a very solid what we call data strategy. And then I think that's the core to drive meaningful AI discovery, especially in the field of biological science. So I think in the company, we focus a lot in collecting the data in a very high fidelity fashion, and then also capture all the informations. I think that's what's quite unique about younger companies, because we don't have to deal with the massive infrastructure that was already in place. So I think that's how we can get ahead in the area of the upcoming, or the current AI wave and technology innovation. Yeah.
But it also has a lot to do with where you operate, right? I mean, when it comes to the AI supply chains, where can you get the fastest, the cheapest access to not only the hardware, but also to things related to the hardware? So what do you make of that?
For us right now, we're not there yet.
Not there yet.
That's not the thing. That's I think we keep an eye on the latest technology, but we're not in the space of the cutting edge AI discovery yet. Yeah.
Annie, would you like to take that question too?
Yes. Yeah. So I think it's a very great question. Yeah, especially for our AI company. Yeah, how to access the necessary elements that we need. Yeah. So I think general to think this question. Yeah, to solve a problem, it's a combined elements together. Yeah. So the tenants, the algorithms, the data, and also the scenario, the real world problem, the market. Yeah, so I think it's combined elements working together, yeah, to compete in the globe. Yeah, so I think as we talked about, China has a very I think uniqueness, yeah, for us to work in these environments. Yeah, I think we have challenges to some aspects of the elements, but we have advantages in other aspects of the elements. So I think. Firstly, we should be in the community. Yeah, we need to catch up the latest technology improvements. Yeah, that's our core. Yeah, the algorithms and the systems, and I think the more important than that is we apply. Yeah, we can find the scenarios to validate, to apply the technology to solve the problem. I think that's the strength of our Chinese innovators. Yeah,
Alex.
So I want to resonate with both, especially with Cheryl. I think that right now technology is at the exponent, but it has been at the exponent for the past 10 years. So, but in the early days of the deep learning revolution, the early days of AI, 2013, 2014, it was very difficult to assess the capabilities of certain models and certain technologies. And while you can actually talk about it, very often you don't even know what are the capabilities and limitations of a certain technological advancement. So you constantly need to invent, you need to test, validate, and see where it works. Now, in 2024, we already have a pretty good understanding of what works and where. So many of the technologies got validated. And now it is time to reap fruits from those technologies. And China is very good at that. So as a matter of fact, you've seen Premier Li Qiang talking about AI technology, biotech, all the technologies, but he was talking about the importance of applications. So, and that's kind of propagating across the board. So people are now figuring out where to use those technologies effectively to ensure that there is also economic benefit, not just a fancy video that you put online or a fancy research paper. It needs to create a product. And what we have done over time, so my first generative paper as a senior author was 2016, and then many experimental papers. We actually had to kind of split the company so I can stay at the forefront of AI development. We invent all the time. So every maybe couple months, we come up with a new concept and put it out either as open source or as research paper or as a product. And I have another CEO, so we have two CEOs. I am running kind of at the forefront and looking what works. And then while we identify what works, I have a co-CEO who makes it into a product. And China is best at making your dreams come true when it comes to developing products. Because people work very hard, people understand the tech, and once they understand the capabilities and limitations of a specific Lego block in a big pipeline of AI that you are building, they can put it to work. So here you can make your dreams come true. That's why it's extremely important to collaborate and not think about where you are.
Not thinking about where you are, but I exactly want to ask, are you aware of where you are? Because I know you operate in different regions of China. You certainly see a lot of regional competitions as well, right? For innovators, for AI competition in China as well, among different regions. So Alex, how do you as an innovator take advantage of that, get the best conditions for your business to grow, while at the same time try to bring them together, all the resources for the growth of your business?
So we have two policies in the company. So A, we do not take government money, and B, we do not take personal data. So we work with public data just to ensure that we can protect ourselves from being labeled as something, right? Nowadays, it's very easy to put a label on a person, a company, and so you need to be 100% clear, right? You are absolutely correct. So here in China, you've got regional competition, and that's what drives the progress here, right? Because local governments, they have a lot of power, and their job is to innovate and to build their ecosystems, build their economies. So I am a huge fan of Pudong, for example, right? Because that's kind of the talent pool of China for biotech and AI, and in biotech specifically. I'm also a big fan of Suzhou. But many other governments, of course, want to come and have us. But we're usually saying that, look, guys, now we are in a world where you don't need to compete, right? It's becoming democratized. Take the software, use the software, have our capabilities. It's open for everybody.
Right. Bill, I know you are not necessarily a company of the similar nature to these three, but how do you look at both the competition regionally here in China for innovation and also the general issue of where AI is and how is it interacting with different fields?
So actually, competition is good. It's regional competition is one of the sources to make innovation, because competition, for example, for our case, competition is making us and our competitor, we are all being better. We are providing better services to our customers. And you know what? We see the regional competitions between different cities in China, different provinces, even within Shanghai, between different districts. When I show up in some conference, we are now based in Yangpu district right now, But other government officials from other districts, they're trying to get in contact with me and say that maybe, Bill, going forward, we'll think about moving your company to our district. So this competition is to make sure the government...
Your phone is ringing. They're calling you right now. No, I'm kidding.
You know what? They called me just the other day. Called me at 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
They work so hard. They discussed some of the some issues we have right now, right? So this competition is to making sure our service level to our customers is good. and to make sure also the governments from different regions, they are good to us too. Yeah.
Yuan, what do you make of the earlier question I asked about AI development, supply chain of AI, and how do you see Chinese innovators or innovators that are operating in China try to work with the advantages and also the challenges of that?
Well, I really like a sentence that they mentioned on the 10 breakthrough technology announcement yesterday. That's technology don't solve problems, people solve problems. Yeah, I think that's really like what I want to say because we saw that's all about entrepreneurs. Yeah, there are challenges, there are like new technologies, but how to use that new technology to solve problems is all about entrepreneurs. Yeah, so when we invest, we do pick the entrepreneurs who can really be confident and do have like problem-solving solutions to solve the current problem.
And you also need to solve problems as a VC investor yourself, I guess.
Yeah, we look for entrepreneurs.
All right, before we go, there's one final question we haven't answered. That's from the gentleman as to what is the secrets of your success so far. If you could use one word to wrap it up, that would be very much appreciated. Let's start from Bill.
Still entrepreneurship. Work hard, work harder.
Annie.
The keeping innovation in a very fast and effective way. Yeah.
All right.
I think you need to constantly invent things that are solving big problems.
Yeah, I think focus on the problem, focus on the value. Yeah.
And Yuan?
I think dream big.
Okay, sounds like a venture capitalist. But anyway, we are wrapping up today's conversation. Thank you so much for your input. I know you are saying everything here right now based on years of hard work and also your agility. So thank you so much, everyone. Cheers.